If you add gold records, real-world assets, and real Web3 with actual customers, what do you get? This crypto season has been amazing. ETFs, nations, and president support, BlackRock, banks, mainstream payments, new all-time high. But one thing I've been a bit disappointed about is the lack of blockchain technology use beyond speculation and money. Especially since my first contact with blockchain technology, when I first understood how great it is, was for charging data records in telecom, years before I knew about Bitcoin. But I haven't given up on this. It will come. One day. Out of nowhere. Oh, hi Anton! What a coincidence! So jokes aside, my great friend Anton Vajk is actually building one of the most interesting projects in the world right now that is actually using blockchain technology. So Anton, how did you start?
So I've been in the crypto and blockchain space since 2013. So I guess I can be considered an OG. We've seen the speculative element, we've seen the DeFi, all these good things. But I've always been thinking about how to apply this blockchain technology so that we can use it for the masses. I had been thinking about use cases and specifically the ticketing domain. Then I stumbled across this clip with CC. So that was some kind of validation that this is a good idea.
Singers, they sell concert tickets at $150. And then that resells like 3 times through the scalpers. And then it sells for like $600, $3,000. And guess what? The artist gets $150. When we spoke to them, they say, this is like I don't know, I forgot the real number, but they said this is like a $10, $20 billion industry. And for this artist alone, right? So this artist, we're very willing to change this. The artist will only sell the tickets through NFTs. And you can engineer the NFT so that the artist get a royalty, however many % each time it's resold. Or especially each time if it's resold at a higher price. So the artists still get a percentage of the later sales. And this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and the artists want to do this. Again, we don't have an application for it today. We haven't made it work yet, but it's totally conceivable.
This is a use case where you can apply the tech and reach out to the masses and solve many problems that are currently in the ticketing domain.
Anton, you're one of those guys working on a platform project that no one will use in the end, right? I mean, you're gonna need access to both artists and channels to consumers to sell tickets. Where would you ever find that?
Tjena, Anders, Micke, Henriksson.
Tjena, Anders.
Lasse, det här är showen.
Ja, this is the real show. Yeah.
And we move into a new office from 1st of October. My name is Michael Henriksson. I'm general manager for Lifeline Entertainment.
My name is Lasse Karlsson. I've been working with the music industry and artist development for around 35 years. I started up in the beginning of the 90s as artist management.
So Lasse, you are very Swedish and very humble. Can you name some artists you worked with?
During the 90s, I was basically part of the entire sound of Sweden, to be honest, because I was managing a group called Base that became the best-selling group, debut group in the world. Then I started to sign more artists, and it was Maya and Emilia and several artists that we refer as the sound of the 90s. So basically I was a big part of the stepping stone for what became Cheiron Studios and Dennis Pop and Max Martin and all these people. Because without Ace of Base, there wouldn't have been any start of Cheiron.
I am mildly starstruck.
I'm very impressed. I have never met such person in my life.
You're not too young for Ace of Base.
I was 1 year old when Ace of Base was established.
There's a multitude of actors in this space, in the domain. We have fans, we have artists, we have the producers, organizers, and we have the venues. What Access Pass actually is a toolbox for all these actors. Reach out to the fans, much better relation between fans and artists.
In the beginning of the year 2000, the start of Spotify and all this transfer from CDs to digital platforms became a huge success in basically the entire world, but everybody was very afraid of it. But at the same time, the evolution of the live event has not kept the same phase as the digitalization of the music industry. So we are kind of a couple of steps behind, and even though there have been changes and it has become more mobile friendly, it's not in the same development level as when you buy a new telephone. You are so much more in the face of the current digital platform we're living in, but the ticketing are not. So basically Michael and I, when we started to talk to everybody at Access Pass, we saw something that never was seen before in our business that was very much more consumer friendly than anything that's on the market right now.
As a producer, as a promoter, we need to connect more between the artist and the market. Fans, the base of the people who buy the ticket in the end, who follow the artist.
When we all started in the mid-80s, there was basically one radio channel in Sweden that forced people to vote on their favorite artist to make a chart, Tracks listan. And if you were top 4, top 5 on the Tracks listan, you were selling records and you were selling concert tickets. Today, with the white noise that is within the social media world, you have so many platforms that you could break and become a superstar within. TikTok is the latest, and we are sitting in a situation where we are missing the actual tool that could collect all these possible future superstars into one communication platform.
Yeah.
We feel that the ticketing systems today are not seamless in the same world as the social media platforms.
When we as a production company sign a client, 3 pieces very important. The content, of course, to develop a show which the audience is interested to see, but also the investment of putting a show together. These days it's very expensive to put together a big show. But the last thing, which is most important, is when you have done all this work, is also to have an efficient ticket sales and marketing platform, as you said. And I think also to integrate the venue, because venue also, for me and Lasse, is that when we put up a show, we really discuss which are the right venue for this show. The people who goes to a show want to have a nice experience for the whole things. To buy the ticket, to connect with the artist, to eat the food, to take the drink, to see the show, after the show, spread it to a lot of people.
Will you be able to do anything with the music rights?
Yeah, so one of the perks that we will provide early on, and a great example of how this technology can really boost the value for the fans, is music rights. So imagine you're buying a VIP ticket for your favorite show, and you also get part of the music rights for the artist that's performing. I think that's a very cool concept that's not really viable using regular technology. This is something that the blockchain technology through NFTs can provide, and it's really exciting. It will really, I believe it will disrupt the whole domain.
Another issue for us is that if we sell a ticket today, we reach out we make a connection with the customer, and hopefully they have a fantastic experience of the show. And after that, there is no really fan base for a consumer. They continue to search for other stuff with no relation to what they have seen. If you look into Spotify today, you have at least the artist radio that recommends other artists. You have you've been listening to this and that, and you get recommended other stuff. If we could recommend the consumer to go to similar shows, we could at least make it more effective for them to buy new tickets.
Anton, when you explained this to me the first time, when was it? 2 years ago now?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I understood for the first time how bad the current ticketing systems are including that the ticketing platform typically sits on the liquidity, on the money for a very long time. Like you buy a ticket as a consumer, but that doesn't mean that the artist or the producer or the management company even get the money then. Which means that this whole industry is ripe for disruption. Yeah. That's what I felt.
What we have seen is like, okay, in the future we want to add smart contracts that will automate these cash flows between the different market participants, and that will also remove the reliance upon a third parties. In true blockchain ethos, be something that is automated and trustless.
Access Pass, the most important thing is to build a platform for between the client, the shows, the content, the consumer, and the marketing. Everything in one platform. Today, there is no other options. In the end, that will also affect the platform to the promoters to get the cash flow quicker. And I think that will develop the potential of building new promoters, small promoters who will grow and need to have the cash flow. No other ticket company can support this.
Looking at the Web3 space, there are competitors, yes, but they are all facing these challenges that I think we have overcome, which is having access to the customer. We have shows ready to go live now, and we are going live this September 2024. So we're really ready to disrupt this whole space.
Big requirements from the artists. The artists want to sell the ticket much faster.
The audience of tomorrow is more digitally advanced than the past audience. So I think everything goes digital and we need to speed it up because otherwise the next audience will not be a part of the live event in the future. The strength we have with entertainment and the experience of a live show is that is absolutely no AI. It is just done by humans.
Yeah. In all the other contexts.
Exactly.
But of course, in the future, this platform is very scalable. So we are really setting it up to be able to cope with any and all different nuances that will be put forth by the next generation audience. So whether it's better recommendations via AI or easier access to tickets, better, quicker purchase experience, we will have it all set up in Access Pass.
Lasse, what has been the most fun throughout your music journey?
I think the most fun part of the music journey is not in one single moment. Is actually when you're a part of dreaming or sketching about what's going to be the next thing you want to work with and you pushing hard to make it happen. And when it all comes together and people listen to it, if it's music, or see it, if it's entertainment, and they applaud and love it, that's the payment of it all.
What's your favorite artist?
Swedish or English? Or international?
International.
I think Dua Lipa is one of my favorites.
One of our most visited venue when we do productions is the Circus Arena in Stockholm, today owned by Björn Ulvaeus from ABBA. And that connects us with broad...
The circus venue, as I said, the circus venue is running today with Per Sundin, Björn Ulvaeus. And Per is coming from, he was managing director in Universal for a long time, so we have a long relation with him. But we also work with the venue Rival, which owns by Benny Andersson, the other ABBA member. And both these guys is supporting the live markets, absolutely.
Per Sundin was...
signed Avicii, and he was one of the main person in the beginning of Spotify. That's correct.
There's happening a lot in the music rights industry right now. Pop House, for example, that you mentioned, they've acquired the rights for Kiss, Swedish House Mafia, Avicii. And I realized that the business of music rights is a great fit for the real-world asset capability of blockchain.
Once these market participants realize the possibilities, they will jump.
I mean, the entire live industry is in an evolution by itself. Seeing that after so many years, ABBA created the Avatar in London, creating a platform performing based on computers. Now they bought the rise of Kiss. Presumably, they will do the same with them. And I think that's an evolution that we haven't seen before. It's changing everything in the music industry, restructuring everything on stage, everything behind stage will also be restructuring.
Let the music rights to live much, much longer, especially for a new generation.
Yeah. The live ticketing domain is very interesting. I think it has the potential to be disrupted due to this new emerging technology that is blockchain. I find that fascinating, and that's how I really found, I think, the right product market fit for this, to make it also this technology accessible to the masses. Also without having to deal with all the hassles that is wallet configuration, seed, remembering your seed phrase, etc. So I wanted my and your parents to be able to utilize and extract the value without having to deal with the hassle.
One thing that I felt when you explained this first time is also that here's finally a use case which is using the technology, but without all the regulatory nightmare that comes from the speculative domain. Because this is not an exchange, it's not investment, and it's not physical properties either.
Yeah, so if the producer, the artist, and the venue just come together and accept the conditions, you can just go. So it's quite easy to tokenize these assets. The market participants, there are still many manual transactions in between them, and this is a very clear-cut use case for blockchain technology where you can, with the help of smart contracts, automate these processes.
Yeah, higher speed, lower cost, faster settlement, everyone get their money faster, basically.
Exactly.
Also, what I feel is exciting is that there's a potential for real NFTs here. Not just NFT is like a JPEG or something, but an NFT that could actually represent music rights, something real.
Exactly. Yeah, this is geared towards not only super fans, but the general fan, where you don't just go to an event and the experience just doesn't stop there. So it continues afterwards and even before. And this value proposition is very exciting because it's not possible with the current technology. So blockchain is the only viable way or path forward to extract this kind of value and to add this kind of value to the everyday consumer. And I also want to say that you have to do it in a way so that it's very accessible. And we've had a clear, let's call it Web 2.5 approach here. So we have removed all the hassle with setting up your own wallet, remembering the seed phrase and everything like that. So it's very easy onboarding, makes it the experience is very seamless. It's just like you're used to, but even better, even easier.
So in terms of chains, you start with Polygon.
Exactly. So Polygon is our first choice right now. We are going to a wallet provider called Venly, and we have Polygon as the back-end blockchain. But we've done it in a way so that we hide all the technical stuff for the end user. We are looking into other chains as well, and we want to be chain agnostic. So the focus for us is end user experience, and core is interoperability.
I think combining the tokenization of music rights and concert tickets is very interesting.
The fans, the artists, the producer, and the venues. So all market participants will gain values that is not possible with the current technology.
And we get to go on the more cool concerts and make money at the same time.
Perfect.
And now one important clarification. There is no token right now. So guys, don't go on Solana market and buy the AXP Access Pass token or something, because it's going to be a scam. There is no token. There is nothing you can buy or invest here. It's correct.
Absolutely correct. No token.
How about later? Are you open to the idea of having a token?
Yeah, potentially we could have a token. When we expand the toolkits and utilities of Access Pass, we might end up with a token of sorts, but as of now, nothing.
So most blockchain projects, as you know, they are like a fantasy. They're a dream, there's a vision, they're planning for something for the future, and they're trying to bring up the token value here. But you are doing the opposite. You're actually launching it.
Yeah, we're going live this September. And speaking of real-world assets, it cannot be more real than that. So we're going live, and you will be able to buy tickets via AXPlive.com. And we will have plenty of shows for you to discover.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, we too. Thank you. Tack.
Sit to Larsen out. Hej då.